friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I'd love to share with you guys my decks. These are psychological cards from OH Cards USA. I'll put all the links below for you guys who are interested. Let's take a look. So I have the Persona and Personita here, and as you guys know, I do channeling. So I do use these as oracle cards. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's start with the Personita, which would be the little version, you know, the little people versus the Persona, the more adult version. So I was looking at these when I came in, and I was getting way more intuitive hits with the faces of these children than I was with these adults, which is interesting, but we'll see. So let's start with the Personita and see what comes through. So I do intend on using these as archetype cards now, because these are solely, you know, there's no guidebook. We're sort of being led by the intuition, by the divine when channeling, but it's whatever these energies sort of evoke within us, which might be completely different feelings and energy, you know? So it's beautiful, but I do feel like without a guidebook, it might be difficult if we don't know what we're sort of, you know, trying to channel. So there's these like cards that have shadow people, and I believe that's most likely this one. And then there's these colorful cards, which are the actual, it could be flipped, people. There's quite a bit here. So I don't know how many cards come in here, but it should say on the website. Let's take a look, and we'll start with the shadow people. So this is the smaller bundle here. So Personita with all of the shadows. Wow. Can you guys see? That's about as good as it's going to get here, because if I turn the light on, it's too bright. Very interesting. This looks like Japanese writing. Wow. Are these evoking any sort of energy within you guys? I'm getting quite a bit from these. I didn't think they'd be this intense. This looks like more Japanese writing. Wow. Very interesting. Okay. Wow. Very, very interesting. So we'll use these as well when we do your mini reading here. But let's take a look at the Personita, the colorful cards here of all these beautiful little ones. It's quite a bit. Wow. It's reminding me of school pictures. That's so cute. All right. So as usual, we're going to channel. Okay. Now, since these are more personality cards, this could be describing your current energy state. Maybe it's your current situation energetically. Okay. This could be your overall energy demeanor. Okay. Or somebody around you. If it doesn't resonate, don't take it. But we're going to see what pulls through. And we will be using some of these shadow cards too, which could give some context to this. But let's see what Spirit wants to communicate here. Okay, so it might just be describing energy overall and no real specific message. You know, maybe you can't put your finger on something in regards to how you're feeling or how you are, or an aspect of yourself or somebody else you might be engaged with here. So let's see. Spirit for beautiful collective that have tapped into this. And then we'll do the same thing with this persona. This could be aspects of your inner child pulling through. Okay, but let's see. Spirit for the collective. What energy do we want to communicate here? Okay, and what energy are we wanting to communicate here to the collective? To this messaging, whatever is being communicated. One more. Okie dokie. Let's take a look at what we have. So it looks like 5 people in a circle. And it looks like one person here squatting. Okay. I'm already sort of getting an energy here. So we have this little cutie. And we have this little cutie. And we have this little cutie. So let me tap in here, okay? See how many energies even pull through here. Beautiful angels. I feel your energy is coming from this and a little bit from this. Okay, you could flip it. I feel like you're in an environment with other people, a group of people. Maybe it's your work situation. Maybe it's just a community that you deal with, family you deal with, or your friend circle group. And I feel like there is a desire you may have to produce something, to come up with something. Okay, like you want to be productive, or you want to fit in, or you want to produce your contribution. There's something you might feel within you that isn't coming or is stuck and is like you're having a hard time bringing this into manifestation or producing this thing that you feel has to come from within you in order to either belong, carry your own weight, fit in, or be appreciated or approved in some way. I feel like there's a feeling of awe you might have, you know, so you might really see these people as being better than you, or this person, or this environment, like you don't fit in, or like you have to struggle to fit in. And I think you're might be looking at that like you're an outsider and you have to prove your self-worth in some way. And it could be because you might feel you lack experience, or you don't know, or you're still learning the ropes in some way. But Spirit is saying you have an advantage here. And the advantage is that you haven't been fixed into some form of understanding. You bring in the curiousness of newness. And so this is what is going to allow you to be unique, your contribution. And so if you are hesitant, because I feel like there's this hesitancy, there's like letting other people maybe fulfill the thing and being like, I couldn't do this, or I'm, you know, like not going to trust myself enough to know that I could produce here. And so there is an energy of trusting your inexperience as a benefit to see where it flows, and allow yourself to incorporate whatever you need to without any, I don't know what the right word is, but maybe there's like feeling like you have to solely just rely on yourself or be like raw, but it's like, no, you can incorporate other aspects of what you've learned or other people's skills and weave it all together here, like until you find what is naturally you. It's like whatever you feel you do have is like a little amount and it's like not enough, or like this is all I have, and it's like, yeah, but it's very special, and it isn't drowned out by all these poor other things that could cloud this beautiful pure energy that you bring to this. And I'll give an analogy, like when you start a new job, like you have the advantage of not being tainted by old thought processes and systems that starts to sort of form your ideas, and then you just conform, and then there's nothing new and fresh. But at the same time, you also have the disadvantage of, maybe thinking you have an idea and it's already sort of being something that can't work in that structure. But it's okay, like finding out why it wouldn't work. There's like a lot of hesitation and doubt on your own energy, and really Spirit is saying trust yourself, incorporate what you already have experienced and understood, and be proud and visible of this, and wear this as something that isn't sort of comparing that it's less than, or only a small amount, or isn't enough, or doesn't stack up. Because I feel like you are already accepted and a part of this circle or this environment or these people. You might just not feel like you are, and you're held back in a way here that's observing, which is okay, but I feel like it's too much observation, too much doubting the natural state of how to be, and too much forcing yourself to come up with something, or forcing yourself to produce. There's no need to force. There's no need to produce if you're not feeling it's comfortable and in your wheelhouse. There's just naturally allowing yourself to say and do and experience what comes through naturally in time, So this is what I'm getting for your message. Let's open this up. I'm going to put these away, and then we'll open up this Personita. Give me a minute. All right, so Persona. Let's take a look at the Persona cards now and see what pulls through with this deck. So it's the same sort of idea with the shadow cards, I guess you can call, but I don't know if they're all mixed in one. Yeah. So we have these, and then we have the personalities, which, like I said, I'll be using as archetypes here based on what intuitively comes through the energy. So let's take a look. So we'll start with I call them the shadow cards. Persona. Very interesting. This kind of remind me of a deck I have. Not sure what the name is. I think it's the Cosmic Oracle. Cosmos Oracle. Kind of remind me of these. A lot of these kind of look the same, but energy flows a lot different. So I do get a good feeling from, or not necessarily good feeling, but lots of different energy flowing through from the images. So let's take a look at these. Beautiful people. Looks like there's some children in here up in the mix as well. This kind of looks like John Travolta. Interesting. This one kind of reminds me of Jesus Christ. Very fascinating. Kind of looks like Wayne Gretzky. Just coming up with people. Wow, that's a little different for this. Interesting. Huh. Wow. Quite interesting, hey? Different energies pulling through. So I'm going to take my sweater off because I'm super hot, and then we're going to do a mini reading for you guys using both of these decks. Give me a minute. I will be right back. All right, let's do a reading, shall we? So for the viewer spirit, what energy are we tapping into for the viewer here? Clear and concise message for the viewer. What are they needing to know in regards to their energy or energy around them? Another one? No, one this time. Clear and concise message in regards to what the viewer needs to know energetically about their energy, energy around them. All three? Yes. Okay. So let's take a look. Three. Threes could be significance. Three is all about growth. Three is about relationship. And we see arrows going up. So relationship with ourself in regards to what? Our higher self, maybe? Our relationship to the highest version of us. Ascension. Stages and phases, I just heard. Let's see. So we have this cutie patootie with pom-poms in her hair. Okay. And we have this cutie patootie. It's kind of reminding me of Terry Fox energy. And we have this cutie patootie. Okay, so what is this energy about? Let's see what pulls through. I'm feeling shifts in transitioning. Okay, like from an old version or maybe from a less evolved version of yourself to a higher version of self. And this doesn't mean anything other than a matured energy that is more refined. So we could be like, you can apply this to anything. Maybe we're refining a skill or an experience or something about ourselves. Then we could be going from a beginner to an ideal state or a polished version of us as a novice to whatever in our mind appears to be the ideal version. Or this could be really talking about energetically, like we are in one energetic phase and then having to go through all the different phases and stages to understand ourselves. So at the end, we could be more aligned with the highest version of us, you know, like one that is more in tune and aware and cleaned up, I guess, if you will. So, okay, yeah. And I'm also getting an energy of intake versus output. So what that means to me is you might have started off, and some of you guys might be here energetically. I don't know where you're at in your timeline, but it's like an inputting of energy, like observation, intaking, understanding, comparison. This could be really looking at our shadows, looking at how we interact, self-observation. And then there's a stage of, I feel like, uncertainty, maybe not seeing or understanding, not maybe liking the outcome or the output, and learning how to trust different parts of ourselves, how to be in that phase, which may feel uncomfortable, or it might be awkward because we're not quite feeling connected, a little disjointed, and feeling our way through as we navigate through the ascension process, or through, literally, if we're learning something, the ropes, getting trials and tribulations through errors and failures, but not necessarily a failure, but an experience that doesn't produce or doesn't work in the best way. And so we're shaping ourselves. And then I feel like there's a state of ascension here, or maturation, which is more of a state of being able to be at the final states. I mean, we're never at the final states, but it's like now I'm experienced or learned, or now it's like I'm outputting service to others instead of this observation and like taking and like maneuvering and understanding. It's now I use my understanding to be consciously present, so I can infuse situations with my wisdom, my clarity, my experience. Yeah, so more productive, more present, more being service of others, not as awkward and painful and mysterious, I guess, if you will, to more of a natural state of your pure self. But I feel like it is a process to get there. And I do feel like it's a beautiful open energy of wanting to serve others. And it's also wanting to, it's not even a want, it's just you are in that energy of being of service, eliminating self-doubt, being confident in your ability to just be without second guessing or hesitation or comparison or judgment. It's like truly being present to understand the people in your world and your situation, and understand it from a more elevated perspective, so you can, again, engage more conscious and without projection, and be more useful, and enjoyment, because I feel like there's a sense of enjoyment here. It's not out of a place of having to be forced or coerced. It's like I feel a sense of usefulness and value and purpose, which gives a substance. Yeah, and I feel like you're glowing about this. There's a radiating light about you. There's others being drawn to you in this energy, and there's feeling very good, and feeling light, and leaving a lot of that doubt, like I said, behind, or like looking back at how much you've learned and the process that was challenging to get there, and not comparing. But there is just a little caution here about not allowing the pride or ego or the accolades or the spiritual self create a whole new persona or identity, and being very humble and pure and conscious. So because we could fall back on this, like I say, spiritual ego, that isn't necessarily going to help here. Like I know it all, or I've done it all, or I've experienced it, because we don't. And we don't know anyone else's journey, and we don't know, but I feel like you do have a lot of value and experience that can help others. But mostly it's through listening and observation, and being available energetically for other people to feel safe and seen, and sense your awakening, so that they can awaken themselves without having to do anything, really, you know? So it's going from this, yeah, like doubtful, skeptical, judgment energy to understanding and seeing things as they are, and not wishing them to be different or wanting them to be in a different way or casting projections or judgments. It's just really a beautiful energy of acceptance, and this is true growth. So this is your reading, beautiful angels. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye bye.